Welcome back, students, to the second part of our discussion on projectile motion. In our previous class, I had told you that projectile is a name given to a body thrown with some initial velocity with the horizontal direction and then allowed to move under the action of gravity alone without being propelled by any engine or fuel. The path followed by a projectile is called its trajectory. In our previous class, we had discussed the situation for a projectile given horizontal projection. Today, we will be discussing the situation when a projectile is given angular projection. Now for this, consider OX. OX, a horizontal line on ground, and OY is a vertical line perpendicular to ground. Suppose an object be projected from the point O with velocity u, making an angle theta with the horizontal direction OX such that x0 is equal to 0 and y0 is equal to 0, that is the initial displacements are 0 at t equal to 0. Resolving velocity u into two rectangular components, we get u cos theta, as you can see in the diagram, u cos theta along OX and u sin theta along OY. As these two components velocities act at right angles to each other, therefore they are independent of each other. The horizontal component velocity u cos theta is uniform because there is no accelerating force in the horizontal direction and air resistance is assumed to be 0. The vertical component velocity u sin theta decreases continuously because of downward force of gravity. At a certain point, as you can see, we have marked it with the alphabet h. At a certain point h, this component velocity reduces to 0. After this, the object moves with horizontal component velocity u cos theta and a continuously increasing vertical component velocity due to gravity pull and finally strikes at point B on OX. Here AH, as you can see in the diagram, AH is referred to as the maximum height attained by projectile and OB is called the horizontal range. The object covers horizontal distance due to its horizontal component velocity and vertical distance due to its vertical component velocity. Now let us find out the path of the projectile. Suppose at any time t, the object reaches at P, xy. The coordinates are xy, where x is the horizontal distance traveled by the object, x is the horizontal distance traveled by the object in time t, and y is the vertical distance traveled by object in time t. So for motion along the direction OX, since the velocity of an object in the horizontal direction is constant, so the acceleration AX will be equal to 0. The position of the object at any time t along the horizontal direction will be given by x equal to x0 plus uxt plus half axt square. Now we know that x naught is equal to 0, x naught is equal to 0, ux is equal to u cos of theta and ax is equal to 0. So we can substitute it in the above equation. So on substituting these values in the above equation, we get x equal to 0 plus u cos of theta into t plus half into 0 into t square. So that leaves us with x equal to u cos of theta into t. So in this case you get t equal to x by u cos of theta. Now we shall consider the motion along the vertical direction. Let us mark it as equation 1. Motion along OY. Since the vertical velocity of the object is decreasing from O to P due to gravity, refer to the diagram once again. The vertical velocity of the object is decreasing from O to P due to gravity, hence acceleration AY will be equal to minus of G. The position of the object at any time t along the vertical direction will be given by y equal to y0 plus u by t plus half ay t square. Now here y naught is equal to 0, uy is equal to uy is equal to u sin theta, and ay is equal to minus g. Again we shall be substituting these values in the above equation. So we will get y equal to 0 plus u sin of theta into t plus half into minus of g into t square. So that will give us y equal to u sin of theta t minus half g t square. Now we already know that t is equal to x by u cos theta. We had marked it as equation 1, t is equal to x by u cos theta. So now what shall we do? We shall substitute the value of t in the above equation. So hence we will get y equal to u sin theta into t, and in place of t we will write down x by u cos theta minus half g and t square. So it will become x by u cos theta square. Let us solve it out. U and u gets cancelled, so we get y equal to x sin theta by cos theta is tan theta, so x tan theta minus half g by u square cos square theta into x square. Now this is an equation of a parabola. Hence, the path of a projectile projected at some angle with the horizontal direction from ground is a parabolic path. Now let us find out time of flight. It is the total time for which the object is in flight, that is remains in air while going from O to B. Again I will go back to the figure so that it becomes clear to you all. The time taken by it to go from O to B. The total time of flight consists of two parts, isn't it? First part, time taken to go from O to H. It is called time of ascent. And second, time taken to go from H to B while coming down. So this is called time of descent. Now as motion from O to H and H to B are symmetrical, so we can write down time of ascent to be equal to time of descent, isn't it? And total time of flight will be equal to time of ascent plus time of descent. Simple. So we can write down T to be equal to time of ascent plus time of descent, or you can write down small t equal to T by 2. Now at H, that is the highest point, the vertical component velocity of the object becomes 0. So taking vertical upward motion of the object from O to H, that is the journey from O to H, uy, that is equal to u sine theta, ay, that is equal to minus of g, and small t will be equal to half of the total time of flight, and also final velocity will be equal to 0, okay, for this journey. So now we can write down Vy equal to uy plus ay into t. So 0 will be equal to u sine of theta plus minus of g t by 2. So we can write down t to be equal to twice u sine theta by g. So this will be the expression for the time of flight. Let us now find out an expression for the maximum height. Suppose we denote it with h. It is the maximum vertical height attained by the object above the point of projection during its flight. Maximum height is the maximum vertical height attained by the object above the point of projection during its flight. Now taking the vertical upward motion of the object from O to H, we have uy equal to u sin theta, ay equal to minus of g, and y naught is equal to 0, y is equal to h, t is equal to t by 2, this is equal to u sin theta by g. So now we can write down y equal to y naught plus uy t plus half ay t square. So you can write down, in place of y you can write down h, 0 plus u sin theta into u sin theta by g. I'm substituting for small t, plus half ay is minus g, and in place of t square I will write down u sin theta by g whole square. So now we get h equal to u square by g sin square theta minus half u square sin square theta by g, and on solving we get h equal to u square sin square theta by 2g. So this is the expression for maximum height. Horizontal range. It is the horizontal distance covered by the object between its point of projection and the point of hitting the ground. So it is denoted by r. Clearly, the horizontal range is the horizontal distance covered by the object with uniform velocity u cos theta in the time equal to total time of flight. So r will be equal to u cos theta multiplied by t. That will be equal to u cos theta into twice u sin theta by g. So now we may write down r to be equal to u square sin, actually 2 sin theta cos theta by g. Using the trigonometric formula we get u square 2 sin theta cos theta is actually equal to sine of 2 theta divided by g. So this is the expression for horizontal range. Now let me tell you, for maximum horizontal range, for a given speed u of the object, the value of horizontal range depends upon angular projection theta, as g is constant at a place. Therefore, horizontal range r will be maximum if sine of 2 theta is equal to 1, and sine theta is 1 only when it is equal to sine of 90 degree. Therefore 2 theta is equal to 90 degree, or we can write down theta to be equal to 45 degree. So hence range is maximum when theta is 45 degree. Now if we substitute in the expression for range, we put sine 2 theta to be equal to 1, so maximum horizontal range will be equal to u square by g sine and that shall be equal to u square by g. Hence, to achieve maximum horizontal range, the object should be projected at an angle of 45 degree with the horizontal direction. This concept has been used by athletes in long jump, javelin throw, cricket ball throw, etc. I would also like to tell you that there are two angles of projection for same horizontal range. Now, when an object is projected with velocity u making an angle theta with the horizontal direction, then horizontal range is given by, suppose I write down r1, this is equal to u square sine of 2 theta by g. When an object is projected with velocity u making angle 90 minus theta, then u square sine 2, this will be 90 minus theta by g. So on solving you get u square by g sine of 180 degree minus 2 theta, and that is further equal to u square by g sine of 2 theta. So therefore r1 will be equal to r2. Thus the horizontal range is the same whether the angular projection of an object is theta or 90 minus theta with the horizontal direction. This indicates that for a given velocity there are two angles of projection for which the horizontal range is the same. An angular projection 90 minus theta with the horizontal is equivalent to an angle theta with the vertical. It implies that the horizontal range is the same whether theta is the angular projection with the horizontal or with the vertical.